So, hello, welcome to the National Baseball League. I'm going to be going swimming soon, so I gotta be quick. So we're going to talk about them left to right. Alright, we'll start with Washington Monuments and the Montreal Expos. Monuments take a 1-0 series lead with a 1-0 win. Good way to start for the Monuments. They lead the series 1-0. Mostly they get this win because of their pitching. That's how they win this game. They're pitching. They win the series 1-0. For 7 hits. They're not that far from a no-hitter. Just 2 hits allowed for the Expos. That's all they get. And the Monuments, fantastic job pitching. Fantastic job. And they're able to get they only need was the 1 run. That's all they get. And they win the series 1-0. They win the Vancouver and Chicago. Oh boy. Chicago is, they're falling. They're going. It's getting bad. It's getting really bad. And they just get 4 hits registered in yesterday's contest. Grizzlies win 10-0 on 13 hits, and they make an error. Chicago has no response. And the Railers, they need to find a way to fix this. That's what they need. They need something to get out of this. Something. So, we'll see what happens. Grizzlies sweep the Railers. Fantastic series for Vancouver all the way around. Pitching, catching, as in like your catcher, fielding, in your infield, in your offense. Vancouver, they did a fantastic job in this game, and a 10-0 shutout win. Then we do another blowout. This is the one I covered. A 6-homer game. 13-1 Liberty win over the Cincinnati Stingers on 14 hits. Look at the 5 or 6 home runs. 5 or 6 homers in this game. And Liberty take a series lead 2-1. It's a 4-game set. They finished today. We'll see who wins. So, Cincinnati, they had the 1 run in the beginning, and then, their pitching staff, they need to figure it out. Then we had the second of a 3-game set yesterday between the Memphis Blues and the Toronto Huskies. So Toronto, with the big win here, to even the series 1 game apiece, their offense was on fire. 9 runs scored, 16 hits. They do make 2 errors, but it doesn't matter because Memphis they're lost. Blues are having a bad game defensively. Usually they're a decent team. They had an off night. And Toronto did a good job taking the edge, and the Huskies beat the Blues 9-3. Series tied at 1. 3 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. 9 runs for the Huskies, 16 hits, 2 errors for Toronto. Then we into the New York Knights and the Utah Raptors. Final of a 3-game set, and the Knights sweep Utah. The New York Knights here, they're right back to what they're good at after getting swept by the Sailors for the second straight time this year in the Battle of New York. They sweep the Utah Raptors 5-3. They get a decent 12 hits, no defensive errors. They keep Utah to 3 runs on 8 hits and errors. So, it's a bit rough, but they find a way to get the win, and they sweep the Raptors. Good job. That's a mistake. So, hold on. So there we go, fixed it. So, Minnesota, the final game with a 3-game set between the Northern Lights and the Atlanta Arrows. So for Minnesota, really close game between them and Atlanta. Atlanta, they just have the slight upper hand. They're having a lot more base hits. They're getting on base more, which is enough to score. In Minnesota, they're not getting on as many times, but they're getting productive hits. But they don't have enough to win. They don't have a response to Atlanta. They don't have a response, and they lose. They run out of outs, and they lose the game 7-6. So Arrows take the series with this win. They win it 2-1, and then we head to Texas, where the St. Louis Stars win off a very similar game to this one. 5 hits and an error for the Twisters, and that loses them the ball game. Stars win 1-0 on 7 hits, no error. So Texas, they had trouble getting on the board. Texas and Stars had trouble scoring themselves, but they scored off a mistake, and they win 1-0, taking the series 2-1. Then we head over to the Oakland Ocean and the Edmonton Eagles. So for the Oakland Ocean, they win 9-7. Pretty close one. A bit of a wild game, but the Ocean come out on top, and they shut down the Edmonton Eagles and make sure they don't have a response despite 13 hits. Really good job getting out of trouble. That's what the Oakland Ocean did a good job last night doing that. Eagles, you gotta find a way to get through their pitching, through their defense, get that runner home, and they just couldn't do it, and they lose the series because of it. So then we head over to the Portland Anchors and the Detroit Motors in Portland. Pretty close one, not a very high scoring one, a bit of almost a pitching duel, and then Anchors with a big 3-2 win to even the series, 1 game apiece, as Detroit won the day prior. 2 runs, 10 hits, and an error for Detroit. That's what the series loses them the game. Anchors win 3-2 on 8 hits, no errors. Well, errors never help. So I think it always hurts your team. Sometimes you lose directly because of it, other times indirectly. Just 3 games left on this board, board number 2. The Houston Cosmos and the Albuquerque Aliens. Final of a 3-game set. Hold on. That's wrong as well. So there we go, we fixed it. Albuquerque Aliens win 2-1 over the Houston Cosmos. They win they won the series 2-1. But the Cosmos, they do a good job defensively and just enough to shut down the Aliens in the last stages of the ball game, and they get the win 4-3 on 5 hits. So Houston, they're doing really productive hits, which is good. Albuquerque, they could work on that. They are still a great team though. They try, but this is their one problem. 3 errors. Yeah, I think I lost you the game. They need to work on their infield, so you don't want to become the Yankees, okay? Yankees got a win last night. A big win. 11-0 over the Cubs. Love it. Aliens win 2-1. Then we have the Boston Whalers and the Tampa Bay Titans. Second of a 3-game set. Boston struggling pitching-wise. Seems like it's on and off. Some days they struggle, some days they're fine. So when they struggle, and they lose 8-2 to the Tampa Bay Titans, the worst team in the Southeast Division. Which that is, to be fair, that is a stacked division. It is stacked. Arrows are good. Blues are good. Sunrays were good. Who else is good? There's 1 team I'm missing. It's fine, don't worry about it. So Tampa Bay Titans win 8-2. Really good job offensively. They're capitalizing off some Whalers mistake. I don't know what's going on with Boston. I don't know what happened last night. Series kind of won. Then we had the final game on the board. Seattle Sasquatch finally win. Finally. They win 2-1 over the Las Vegas Gamblers. It's kind of concerning that they had to work this hard to win. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. Some sheer pitching won the Seattle Sasquatch's game, so they avoided a sweep. But still, this is bad. Vegas is an awful team. You lose to Vegas? Oh yeah. Vegas is starting to win. I don't know what's going on with this team, but they don't get the sweep. They don't get back-to-back sweeps. But they win 2 series in a row. That's still incredible for Vegas. That's the end of this board. We'll see you for board number 2. Series board number 2. So now I'm back from the pool. So we'll start with the San Diego Seals being hosted by the New York Sailors in Manhattan. So the New York Sailors, really good job. They're getting good hits. Just 5 runs, 9 hits. And they do make a mistake, but it does not matter because they outscore it. They can get those crucial hits. They win it 5-4 over the San Diego Seals at home. They win the series. We're taking 2 out of 3. They're looking for the sweep today. San Diego Seals, 4 runs, 12 hits. They need better hits, more productive hits. They need to bring more guys home. And their pitching is struggling at important times. Sailors play the series 2-0. Looking for the sweep today. We'll see what happens. Then we get to the Firebirds and the Aviators. Final of a 3-game series between the 2 ball clubs. Columbus, they've been getting pretty good for a bit now, on a good streak. and they lose one. They lose the final game of the 3-game set to the Firebirds, 3-0. They get shut out. They get 6 hits. They had an off day. It's but you don't want to. As long as because teams have bad games, that happens. Firebirds win 3-zip. They didn't really do nothing. Just not a crazy game. 5 hits and an error. Firebirds win 3-0, so they avoid the sweep, and the Aviators take 2 out of 3 against San Francisco. Now we to the final game for yesterday, the Orlando Sunrise and the New Orleans Gators. Final of a 3-game series. Orlando so close. They just could not make it happen. They blew it. They blew their chances. And they lose 3-2 to the New Orleans Gators, and they get swept. Not in the losing streak's at 9. It's at 9 now. 9-game losing streak for the Orlando Sunrise. They're struggling 2 runs, 6 hits, and an error. They do make an error, so that probably lost them the game because then their offense didn't make up for it, and they lose the game. 3-2 to the Gators. They get swept. 9th straight loss. We'll see. How much longer is this losing streak gonna go? We'll see. And I'm Thomas Roast, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.